morning and welcome. So today I am going to create a second account because the team has stated publicly that they're not going to do anything about multi-accounting, and we are going to just do free to play and talk about that whole experience. I think the majority of people out there are free to play or maybe super low budget. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to spend, maybe 20 bucks and get all the cheap stuff, but I'm going to start out free to play, and if I get frustrated, maybe we'll do a small spend like $20 or something that would be within not all budgets, but most budgets, I feel. Okay, so first step is to create a passport account. So I'm going to drag a web browser over here, make sure everybody can see it. Yep. And we will just search for passport immutable X, like that. Immutable passport. Sign in. I don't want to sign in, I want to create an account. Alright, so it looks like we have our passport wallet. This is, I guess, the address. We can see that we're on the immutable ZKEVM. That stands for Zero Knowledge Ethereum Virtual Machine. I think. That's kind of a guess, but it's something like that. It's probably that. So zero knowledge just means that they can have contracts, have one side talk to the other without knowing anything, any private information about the other side's contract, and they can still come to an agreement. So it's a way to maintain privacy while doing secure deals. And then it's an Ethereum virtual machine, which just means it uses the Ethereum rules or whatever, but it's not actually on the Ethereum chain. It's a secondary chain, layer 2 they call it. Okay, all right. That's kind of the basics. I'm not an expert on this stuff at all. I'm just a person who knows a tiny bit. Just scratch the surface. So now that we have our passport, I think we can just open the game. I'm going to move that out of the way. I'm going to launch Illuvium. This is the Epic store, Epic app, whatever you want to call it. So you would have to download that. I didn't show myself downloading that because I kind of already had it. But so you would download Epic. And then within Epic, you would search for Illuvium and click on the Illuvium game. And then you come to this screen when it opens and you hit Passport Connect. Connect to Illuvium. So then you get this screen here. It says Connect to Illuvium. We hit yes. And it really is this simple. This whole passport process makes all right, good, so it's working. Makes Web3 or crypto, all that stuff, pretty seamless. All you need is your email. It's still a little more complicated than Web2, but if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll try to keep an eye on the chat. Okay, so we are going to name our ranger. So I already have Soda Hype is my general name, and then we'll put free to play. Soda Hype free to play. Set ranger name. A little captcha that's way laggy. 3 seconds. Nice. Alright, it says authentication. 3 to 16 characters, so I just went over. It's going to make us do it all over again. Soda Hype is 8. Free is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Soda Hype free to play. free 2-ply. So it's like I'm giving away toilet paper. I don't even know if you can use numbers. I think you can. Yeah, this is already further. Receive updates. Yeah, that's all good. Ooh, explore a shattered planet. Interdimensional rifts and embark on a journey like no other. Start exploring. I would like to.
Lem, Black Keel insists we set course for Illuvium.
But I can feel it. This is Illuvium.
Scans indicate a dead planet.
Activate scouting vessel.
Captain, if the control unit is lost, there's no going back. Please, relinquish the control unit.
But they'll never know how wrong they were.
If you don't follow orders, they won't
All
listen.
we do is blindly follow orders. When will we fulfill our duty?
Your duty is to Black Keel.
Cole knows something I don't. I need to know how this ends.
Will you retreat to safety, chasing paradise? Or will you follow me and fulfill your purpose?
Officer Herc, let me resolve this peacefully.
Enough. She won't decide our fate.
Do it now.
Commencing decompression.
I'll be back.
Airlock breached. Stasis initiated. Unexpected malfunction. Brace for emergency landing.
Forgot to charge again, huh? How long? But he only just landed. Scan it again. Dead planet, huh? Cole was right.
The reconnaissance network isn't online yet, and Black Keel has cut all communication.
Starless void.
We'll find her soon. There's no way off this island.
Retrieve her control unit and rebuild the Leviathan.
I guess she got off the island. Oh boy. Let's get started. Come on, come on, come on. Alright, oh yeah, that's nice. I like... Oh, let's try blue or red. I like blue better. Oh, let's go with the green. The green's my favorite. There's different facial structures. All good. Factions. No, I'm not really spiritual or idealistic. Maybe idealistic. No, I'm not. Yeah, survival and pragmatism definitely. Wait a minute. These are just survivors, and these are more than survivors. Sacrifice to reshape? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Could do Aetherborn. Adventurous and independent. That's me too. Space as my natural domain? Not so much. Let's try this one. The Aetherborn.
Officer Herc, step away from the suspension terminal.
We need all hands on deck to fix the Leviathan. It's our only way off this rock.
Waking the Exalted before we reach Illuvium violates protocol. Black Keel will not allow it.
If we don't get out of here, we're past worrying about Black Keel.
Only the captain can make such a decision.
She ceased being our captain the moment she stranded us for that traitor.
Think of their lives.
I am.
Premature suspension termination. Passenger XG420.
XG. So, it would seem the hex technology is ours. So are we somehow creating Brightland steps? Must be. Right? I don't know, yeah.
Good morning, citizen. You've awoken earlier than planned. Please stand by for emergency revivification.
Scratch that. We don't have time for rehab.
Disregard for protocol could lead to long-term health problems.
Let's get started.
Sorry about that. I had to adjust some interference. Void swallow me and exalted in the flap. Amnesia. Everything else looks fine. Let's check your basic functions. Step into the circle and keep up as it moves. One foot in front of the other. Yes, this is looking promising. Seems your muscle memory is still firing.
It says hold shift.
Your delicate sensibilities satisfied, Gowdy.
They have total retrograde amnesia.
Even better. Easier for everyone.
Officer Hutt.
Bring the rest online.
Very well.
Cadet, complete your training on the lower deck.
Lower
Where are you
deck.
at, Vega?
Armory, sir.
Perfect. Sending down the first body.
What? Already?
And Vega, note their diagnostics.
Oh? Oh. Void be damned. They're here already.
Hey, Vega.
I'm Vega. As Officer Herc said, I'll be guiding your Ranger crash course. Pulled one of them straight out. Wild. Doesn't matter. We've got a lot to cover. Speaking of, let's get you kitted up. Step right this way. Trading in silk for standard-ish. All right, you're geared up. Next stop is the Omni Reality Suite just ahead. Go on, right through there.
Yep. Green. Green means go. Doesn't really tell you which way to go except for the green versus red.
Heads up, everything in there is pre-recorded. I hacked it together from some old suit calibration modules and a qubit simulator. See you on the other side.
constructs.
Right click to zoom, left click to shoot.
Unfortunate. Well done.
I guess I'm not very good. Oh,
Your suit possesses cyberkinetic functionality. Note the large distances you cover with each leap. Friction is regulated via your suit's exterior nanoveneer. This allows increased control and mobility via sustained sliding.
oof, close. Oh, you can't go off this edge.
Initiating ionic propulsion. This allows for sustained flight. Prepare for liftoff.
Oh, okay, so this is the jetpack. And you can't use it. Yeah, you can still use control. Oh, I see. Can't jump though. Yeah. Oh, you can jump on the ground, can't trampoline bounce. I should try and hit these things, see what happens.
Your boots are engineered to elastically deform space-time, creating perturbations of quantum gravity. You may prefer picturing tiny trampolines.
I do like trampolines.
The final stage of your suit's functionality is now at your disposal. Nanofiber mesh wings provide prolonged aerial drift. Generic compliment.
Generic compliment. I will I will be using that generic compliment. What? Jetpack? I was slow on the uptake there. Am I shooting? I missed, yeah. Alright.
Simulation complete.
Green.
Your performance
Green means go.
exceeded expectations. Your months of training have clearly paid off.
Yeah, negative on that last part. Well, look at you kicking ass. Not bad for someone fresh out of cryo. Must be in your DNA. But sim results are just that. Simulations. They don't count for anything in the field. This planet, it's not exactly rolling out the welcome mat. Now, meet me in the data room. All right. I'm setting you up with a loner drone.
Okay.
You're gonna need it for what comes next. This fella
Let's-
giving you the once-over is a bark. Hope you like him feisty. Move to the hangar. It's time to touch grass.
I don't want Bach. That's just the loner drone. That's green.
Okay. Now you may want to grab onto something.
Mission, leave the ship. Whoa, check that out.
After so long. A planet with more than just rocks. It's not Illuvium, but it has its moments. Okay, come on over to the porter. Whoa, easy there. First time's always a bit
Whoa.
disorienting.
The obelisk is moving.
Welcome to your first glimpse of what we're dealing with. See that obelisk? It's a teleport beacon too. Just bigger. And before you ask, no, we didn't build them. Captain Arlen cracked the code on this one.
Travel.
Opened up a whole...
Space to skip. Space to skip. M to open map. M for map. You can see the deposits. Here's a deposit that says it's a lazarite. Escape to leave the map.
Activate nether sight on your visor.
Nether sight
It'll
is
reveal
E.
all kinds of anomalies.
They can see it lasts for, I don't know, 10 to 15 seconds maybe. To get these rocks to make sure you
Rhodium
hit
is
2
crucial for just
on the
about
keyboard.
every piece of tech we've got.
There's 2 guns right now, the 1 gun and the 2 gun.
Great job, Rook. You found a shard. They're for capturing. Make sure to process it back in
See if I can
Sanctum
get
Mesa
those
before
guns.
use.
Yeah.
Otherwise it won't work. That essence will come in handy at the forge.
And there should be
Those logs
there it
identify
is.
this as a flora ball. Stupid name, if you ask me. Use it to give your captured creatures a boost. Hold up, there's a disturbance. There, sending you a ping. Introduce yourself to the local wildlife. Hey, Buck! Time to bring it! Support! Yes! You two make a great team. Buck,
can hit
hold that
hold E to
pocket.
scan.
It's go time.
Cost 10 energy. Hold R to fight. Doesn't cost any energy. I'm almost out of coffee.
These pockets always have the same hex board. Para reckons it pulls them in. Me? When I'm scared, I go where it's safe. Right. This Doka looks tough.
Yeah, Earth
Soon
Dokas
you'll
are
have
tough.
your own creatures. But right now, it's just you and him.
I think the Earth Dokas are the best Dokas by far. Especially early game. Earth is very strong.
Void, take it! This one's too much.
Affinity early game. And this disarm that the Earth Doka does is so
Buck,
good. The
pull him
blind
out! Now!
by the Air Doka is probably second to the disarm in my opinion, but those are the 2 best.
You're safe now. I'll be honest, I really thought your first time would be different.
Okay,
Ah well, no worries. Let's get you a bigger stick.
we're gonna get out
Use
of here.
the obelisk to return to Sanctum Mesa.
Hold space to skip.
Welcome back
I
to
love
Sanctum
nighttime
Mesa.
in Sanctum
We need
Mesa.
to get you properly equipped if you're going to take on what's out there. Trust me, they get scary. Head over to the 0 Point Forge and craft something that'll give you a fighting chance. Notice that clicking noise in your radiation detector? That substance coats pretty much everything on this planet. Whenever you return, your drone purifies and extracts it automatically. It's crucial for refueling the Leviathan. The drones are obsessed with it too. I think it's connected to the obelisk somehow. Word of advice, the more resources you bring in, the more favor you'll carry with the higher-ups. Everyone wants to be the hero who gets us home. All right,
So that's
put those
interesting.
materials
you
to
said
good
the
use.
clicking noise
Let's forge
that's
you
been
a
driving
sword.
me nuts is substance. So I'm gonna try and see if I can hear that and if there's a difference. So we're gonna grab a sword like he said. Make 2 of these.
There you go.
1 of these.
That's it.
Forge the sword.
Boom. This beauty packs a bit more punch. Hold up. Almost forgot about your shard. Gotta get that cured too. You'll need a good stash, since they don't always hold. Note the perfect structure. Without it, those monsters just leak out. Okay, now
I
you might have a
and
chance.
Z.
Head back to the obelisk, and let's get it done.
Move the sword. Oh, he doesn't actually tell you to move the sword, so make sure you do this. Move the sword so you can use it. The floral ball will be there. You don't have to move that. And then to go to the obelisk.
Blinking to the obelisk. Gotta love shortcuts. Oh, I added a grotto to your inventory, just in case.
We have a Croco.
All right,
Stage 0.
Brightland Steps, take 2.
Space.
That Doka couldn't have strayed far. They stick to their territories.
Let's see if it shows
Listen
up.
to me. Even I'm saying Doka now. We really have to stop using Cole's names, or they're gonna stick. Our friend is back. Let's see what that new gear can
Oh,
do.
it's on the map
Now, here's something useful. That gem inside your new weapon gives your rifle some extra kick. Now the hunt should go pretty smooth. Remember, use bark to your advantage. Haha, look at that energy spike! Singularity forming. Let's go!
It's jazz.
All right, let's get that new hardware online. Equip your sword. Whoa, hold up! These readings are off the charts. Doka's tougher than we thought. You're gonna need backup. Put that Grocko to use. Don't worry, Bark can keep him in line. Give your Grocko a boost by feeding it that Floraball.
I don't want to. I want to keep it.
Take it down! Outstanding. You make quite the team. Bark's got the Doka pinned. Don't hesitate with that shard. This pocket won't be stable forever.
See if we fail the first
Bark,
one.
now!
The first playthrough I did fail the first time. I'm guessing we fail again just to show everybody it fails.
Damn. One last try.
Succeed.
Come on. Got it! Doka's secured. It's all yours now.
Alright, pretty good stats.
Now, leg it before he collapses.
I guess it collapsed on us.
Phew! Talk about cutting it close. Great job. And almost on your first try. That doesn't always happen, especially with the big boys.
Alright,
Now,
this ain't the
let's head
side.
back to the obelisk. Welcome back. With Chopin, it will sometimes feel like
want
he's
Chopin.
leading you. This is Hildy. She's dependable,
that's who I want.
resourceful, and no nonsense.
Yeah, I want Hildy.
You know Bark already.
And Bach does
Serious,
the energy.
hot-headed, but loyal.
Okay, I like Hildy because it does the 5-second box. And hold E to select.
Great choice. I think you two will become a legendary duo. But it's also time to get serious. You're a ranger now. We, all of us, are going to be needed to get off this planet. Head over to the mission board and see what we're up against.
Here it
Some
is.
jobs might seem small, but they all get us closer to repairing the Leviathan. Without it, we're not going anywhere.
Missions right here. Wow, tier 4. Well, we can get the morphopods. X to pen. Forge cured rare shards, maybe. We can do the XP, I think. And I don't know. Tier 4 weekly. Let's do XP. Okay. Yeah, I say we just go into a T0 and get started making Supreme. We'll advance first and get Supreme gear. That's the goal right now. Brightland Stage 0 travel is free. This is the free to play. This way. good team. Three fighter, a bulwark. There's another fire Doka, I think. I overused.
Got it. Let's get started.
Alright, so it said a nature encounter, which means there's a nature alluvial in here. Actually, I think... Oh no, it said nature encounter, but it's not. So... that'll be enough, and it'll give us 2 shots instead of 1.
Your download is complete.
Don't go leveled up. Okay. Is it Earth? Oh yeah, we should be It is Earth.
Gotcha. Let's get started.
I think we can win. Let's kill the great. Ideally, I think I want them both to attack and grapple, but split is okay. Yeah, totally. I wonder if this were if I would have won that fight. Be interesting to know. Other things I should probably start doing. Free to play is going to be a little more challenging. I should be looking at their levels too. See if I can discern stats and stuff. I guess we can go south. Yeah, it's lots of red.
Got ya. Let's get started.
Yeah, I might have underestimated a grader being level 20.
Shall not be defeated.
I need that. Typical. Not using a common shard on this. Would be a waste of resources, and we can ill afford to waste resources. So we're just gonna shoot rocks. Green rocks have the best chance of giving you a shard. White rocks. And here's free, so I'm getting everything. Try up north. Oh, there is not many rocks in here. Oh, I said north. It's a fish. I don't have shards, so I can't capture anything. The orange/yellow rocks give you a better chance at gas. You can shoot stuff pretty far. There's a floor box here, I guess. Floor balls for tanks are pretty good. Dragon egg too. Like this is okay. These are my favorites. Gumballs. They give you attack speed and attack. They're really good. And we are out of time. So we can either go through Ergon Rifts, get a little more energy back, or just start another run, which is what I'm going to do. Once we get out of here, it will tell us, give us a summary of what we grabbed. So I'm going to check, see how many shards I grabbed, see if it's worth curing. 3. Oof. I will cure him in case we come across something good. But that's not a lot. Head to the forge to cure your shards. That's basically it. Oh, map. Up here. Oh, we can go to Abyssal. Let's go to Abyssal. I wonder when Crimson will be opened. So the mushrooms are good. Mushroom caps for XP. Right here. Or let's just wait and see if we come across a greater or anything. Any greater would be worth grabbing. Oh, the other thing I could have done, I did capture one Illuvium. I could have put it in my team. Yeah, I could have put the Lesser Fire Dog in my team. Can't do it when you're in a zone. looking for graders right now. Grabbing everything I see. Everything has value, it's just... Generally mining is more valuable than Oh, greater. We're gonna try and catch this.
Gotcha.
Let's see how difficult. Oh, good, good. Yeah.
Here we go.
I should be able to do this because I have 3 Earth, 1 Nature is 2 away from Earth around the wheel, and it's clockwise. It'll, my guys will get hyper, and we can check that by. And the wheel. If I just hover over it, I can't use the mouse, but you see Earth on the top left there, then fire. And plus Earth is +2 to fire, but +1 to nature. So this will be an easy fight. And the fact that I have 3 versus 1. Stats are pretty decent. Mega power is number 1. Importance, something like that, and it's almost 5 out of 6, and then health is 6 out of 6.
Your download
Support.
is complete.
It's a pretty good unit if I can. 58% chance. Wow, first try. That's fantastic. Look at that. The floor on this is 5 cents. And like I said, these stats are pretty decent, so certainly better than floor. Resistances are kind of important too, so that being low is tough, but yeah. 100% can sell that for a nickel right now. Woohoo! Good. We are out. Let's see how we did. The greater AT bow is worth its own in my mind at this stage of the game. It's a pretty strong unit, and we picked up 8, way better, 8 shard fragments. Some rudivium, some osmium. Send that to the purifier. I wouldn't expect that to pass. We're gonna cure these shards. No, they never tried. Put a teleport link in here. Shards. Only lets you do 4. And then ILZ, plop these 2 in our team. like I can beat any T0 fights at this point. Let's go back to Abyssal. That was way better. I'm so happy Abyssal's unlocked. This is good. Check the heat map. I just want to go left. Left and south. Or this is west and south. Not even in the red. You want to be in the red. You're only going to find stuff in the red. Yeah, I'm going to grab this dope gun. Right?
Here we go. His stats were better than ours. Oh, I really wish I didn't get sent back here. That was... Let's build a right though. Silly thing. Losing a fight doesn't really cost anything, just the chance at that overview, I guess. The only non-red area, and I'm running straight through it.
Hey, Tallulah. Thank you. How did we do? 9 shard fragments, good. 19 osmium, 28 rubidium. Just gonna head right back in. take them. Let's get this lesser earth team so we can work on our earth team.
Gotcha. Let's get started.
Hey, hamster. Thanks, hamster. Okay, so... Oh, you can't even see what I wrote. Yeah, so I had this issue yesterday, too. And the VOD from yesterday is fine. It's just the stream. How to fix it, I do not know. I'm going to spend a few minutes trying to figure it out. Browser issue, Twitch server issues, hardware acceleration, Twitch extension system, additional tips. Try restarting. Well, first let's see if I have the black screen. Twitch, YouTube. Yeah, YouTube's good. Yeah, I don't think it's an issue on your end. And it's just weird, like, it's working on YouTube, and probably on X, it's just a Twitch thing, but I don't know. Twitch has been really weird though. Yeah, okay, it works on X. black screen on Twitch. Settings. It starts out working fine, and then it does this black screen thing. Restart your network devices. That's not likely to be an issue. Change your DNS. Close window. Update your graphics driver. That doesn't seem like it would work for streaming, but maybe. Clear cache. Yes. Disable browser extensions. Yeah, maybe the bitrate's just too high. I'm gonna lower the bitrate to 6,000. Turn Twitch off for a minute. I'll be right back. Twitch has been off for a minute. Let's try and turn it back on with the new bitrate. And if it doesn't work, I'll just have to leave it off for today. It's just one. Twitch, you have not been kind to me. So, turning Twitch off. What's this? Fire. Not great stats, not great stats.
Download is complete.
Failure. Okay. So that is, I think, our 4th Earth. One more will get us to the 5 Earth threshold. Although really, that's not an issue, I don't think. We're going to have a team strong enough for stage 1 when we can finally go there. Whoa. That's great. Let's just keep kind of below of my favorite things to do is just turn the brain off and come and grind for a little while. And I like to... Let's do an AMA while we grind. Listen to Kieran talk, I guess, is probably the best. See if there's anything new in the last week that I haven't heard. GameFi rundown. High profile guess. Yeah, we can listen to these guys talk. This is the J
All right.
Gimberino.
We are live here. So this is a special edition GameFi rundown because we have the launch of Illuvium coming in. At this point, it's less than 24 hours, right? I think we already got Illuvium 0 as a surprise
see
today.
What they were thinking
but the
launch.
Overworld comes out in like, I don't know, 16, 20 hours or something from now. But yeah, this is going to be a good show, doing it different style. Instead of like different segments, we're going to have different guests. So every 15 minutes for, the next hour and 15, we're going to have a new guest coming on. And I'd say some of them are pretty good guests. If I get one little confirmation just to make sure, I'll let you know. But our fifth guest is going to be one that I think you guys will all love to see. But let's just bring in the first guest right here. The one and only TSG. So,
hey, what's up, guys?
Alright, I'm actually... Yeah, no, let's listen to this.
Glad to
This
have
will
you
be
on.
fun. I was going to do more recent
First time
stuff,
doing this
but
rundown live. Episode
TSG's coming
50.
on. Let's see what he
Games
got to
launching.
launch.
Everything's getting pretty exciting.
This is
We
about
just
a
had
week ago.
Illuvium 0 just come out of nowhere this morning. But first off, how you doing? You've been playing this morning?
Not so much. I've got it on one of my screens where I'm kind of just tapping along as I get my work done. I'm not diving in. I wish I could.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's on one of my screens, and I'm definitely tapping away there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys started?
Yeah, I've been doing kind of the same thing. I'm trying to manage 4 different plots right now.
Yeah.
But what I started to do was I have a tier 3 and then 2 tier 2s and a tier 1. At one point, I was just like, I can't even worry about the tier 2s and tier 1 right now. I'm just gonna focus on that tier 3. Once that is kind of like up to speed, maybe I'll start focusing on the other ones. But it's kind of a lot in the early stages.
Yeah, that's my thought process as well. Like, I've got 2 tier 3s and a couple of tier 1s. I'm not even worried about tier 1s, and I'm only focusing on 1 tier 3 for the time being. Like, when I say focus, like, again, I'm not even 100% on that, so there's no way I'm splitting that between multiple tiers, so multiple plots. So yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah, I couldn't keep jumping around. Yeah. Are you playing Jimbo? No, you don't. Yeah, you have a little bit of land, right? Oh, we can't hear you.
Right.
Oh, there
Are
you go.
sure?
No, I can hear you now. For a second, I couldn't.
Yeah, I have 2 pieces of land. I have a tier 2 and a tier 1, but it comes as no surprise that I have not played them yet. Illuvium 0 is just not my kind of game. I will eventually get them once like the hype has died down, but I don't think it's worth spending time in Illuvium 0 if I don't really enjoy it when I could be playing Overworld. You know what I mean? That's what I'm going to be doing. I can play Illuvium 0 when I get back to work.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, so for this show, me and Jimbo, we each prepared a question for each of these guests, and then we have another one if we have time that we're going to ask everybody. So, TSG, the question that I had prepared for you was, what are we going to see with this alliance program that we have going on? Are we going to see a new influx of new Are you already seeing this? New creators coming in? Bigger creators? Yeah. What is this going to do for Illuvium?
Yeah, so I think to set kind of expectations right, like it's not going to be an immediate thing where everyone kind of sees it and says, oh my god, and jumps right in. Obviously, we're seeing some of that, but I wouldn't expect to say we get, I don't know, XQC or some of these guys jumping and be like, oh, this is amazing. What is going to happen is it's a long-term play where it's a slow progression, where I've got a couple of big guys in that I know are probably going to do quite well with it. We start highlighting the wins, and then others start to see, damn, is this what's like, you know, when you're walking down the street and you kind of don't know of a party, but you start hearing about it, and you're like, yo, damn, this looks kind of cool. What's going on here? Then you step into the club for a little bit. Like it's that kind of idea where we have a couple of guys, they make a lot of noise, make the party seem cool over here, which it is. And that's what starts to bring people in over time. It's not going to be an instant boom, but no, there are some names that I have got that I mean, we've got like
I have to grab this hollow,
big
right?
name, obviously, but we obviously saw Probe come back as well, and I think that's kind of a
well, that's fun.
a kind of clue of what's to come, right? We have people like
Oh, I
Probe, who's
can't.
focused 100% on TFT. There's a couple of other guys that we will be seeing a return and
I
new
don't have
faces
any energy.
of some people here.
Alright.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, if I make, let's say the first month I come out and I make
That's fun.
$300 from this, you know, I share it and they look at my channel, they're like, he's only got 2,500 subscribers. I have 20,000 subscribers. That means I could be making a few grand a month. And then, yeah, I think they'll come in, and then when that gets shared around some more, it's just going to start a snowball effect there.
100%. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for just everyone in general, but I think that the guys that really win are going to win on a level that, I mean, we just haven't really seen before. Like, I know a couple of the guys in previous sales and previous previous sales and revenue generation initiatives, they've generated $200,000, $400,000. There's one guy I know who's done 1.2 mil in 2 months. So I mean, if you do the math on that real quick, let's just round it down to 1 mil. Let's say you do 1 mil and you are getting that 17.5, bro. That's 175. Like that's not chump change at all. And in certain regions of the world, that is legitimately 5 years of an average salary. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was
once
gonna
people
say,
start
I
hearing
could live
about that,
comfortably for a year. Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people even call that Trump change.
but yeah, now some people once they see that again, like it's just going to be, like I say, it's going to be a slow progression, but we definitely aren't going to see the impacts of it about 6 months in, 3 months in. I reckon that's when we really start to see it picking up.
Yep. What do you got, Jimbo?
So, I'm not even sure if you can really answer this, but I have a few follow-up questions depending on what your answer will be. What is, are there any fun partnerships with influencers we may know that you're willing to share?
Yeah, for sure. I'm happy to share these. So, you guys know that we worked very closely with Liquid back in the day. So, funnily enough, we actually have a couple of the guys coming back and playing. We have Rakin, who's going to be coming back. We have Bobkin. Bobkin was ecstatic.
Love him.
Yeah, he's absolutely ecstatic. He was messaging me earlier today. Absolutely ecstatic to be coming back in. One of the guys that I'm very, very happy to get the feedback from was Snooty Boo. So we actually, a little bit of a short story here was I ended up getting Snooty early access with you guys or whoever else got it for Gauntlet. And I wanted to prep him for the stream. So I was like, hey, man, let's jump into it. You can actually see what it's about. And Frobe joined that call as well. Because Frobe, they've got a pretty good relationship there as well. So Frobe was backseating. And I was trying my hardest. Like, I was actually trying my hardest. Snooty had never played before at all, obviously. And he ended up winning. And I lost my mind. But the feedback was, I actually need to reply to him. I've got DMs there. But yeah, he's down to do community tournaments. Like, he's fully into it, understanding that yes, it is an alpha, it's not as polished as TFT is, but understanding that, oh, there's going to be a ranger included, oh, we have hyper, there are some mechanics that differentiate it from TFT, but the feedback is that, this is a game that he could play just for fun, which is and again, this is a professional, not like a professional streamer, he's a professional competitive TFT player. So if that's the feedback we're getting on this, and I always try to be slightly conservative with it, kind of saying, hey, look, this is kind of like early TFT, maybe set 2, set 3. The feedback that I'm getting from both Probe and Snooty is, bro, this is so far ahead of set 2 and 3 TFT. Like, you guys are doing all right. So, yeah, those are a couple of names that I can throw out. There are quite a few more. But I will say they probably won't all be going live day 1. I think we want to scatter them out slightly, as that's probably going to be a little bit more impactful. But how are those names, Simbo? Do you recognize them?
No, I mean, of course I know Bobkin. Like the team Liquid's literally my favorite org, so of course I know everybody on there. So yeah, I'm super pumped, and I like the idea of staggering it instead of having everybody come in at the release. Because one of the main things I was worried about for the release is that everybody comes in all day one and then gets burnt out. I think it's better to see the player base, even if it starts at a lower player count, steadily rise over time. That to me would give me a lot of comfort and excitement for the future of Illuvium. So it's nice to hear that.
That's definitely my thought process as well. And yeah, there's a couple of guys in the Brazilian market as well, like Tex, TF Toddy. These guys are big guys in that region. So yeah, I think this is the first time that I can confidently say that the product we have, although not polished, stands on its own 2 feet. Like, I think this is the first time that I don't have any issue kind of going out to them and saying, hey, check it out. Yeah, UI polishes. Yeah, like there are some things, but no, it's very, very much at a point that I'm quite happy with.
Yeah, I completely agree there. And so we're going to be having a new person come in every 15 minutes. So the next person is going to come in real quick. But I have one question that I wanted to throw to everybody. So maybe a quick answer here from you, TSG. But for Illuvium in 10 years from now, when we look back at this point, what are we going to be saying? What are we going to be thinking about, from the early days of Illuvium?
What are we going to be saying? I can't believe that. I would say the people that have been here from the beginning are going to say, yo, I can't believe how far it's come. It's funny that you actually asked this question because I'm trying to push for it to go public, but internally we're sharing some of like the origins of Illuvium. I think the OGs, real OGs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you saw it. Yeah, so the OGs know that Illuvium was originally called Cryptlets, and it was never meant to be like this global world. Yeah, Cryptlets.
Cryptlets is wild.
Yeah, and from like crypto triplets. Is that what they were saying?
I don't know why
That's a stupid name.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. But even the gameplay, man, like we saw some where over from the team. And again, I wasn't here from the very beginning, but if you look at what they originally had, I'm not willing to share it just because I don't think that we should. But looking at where we started to where it is now, it's like holy. And then where we are now, compared to what I know Kieran's been quite vocal about multiplayer coming soon, combat coming soon. I say coming soon, but coming in the future. Like those things, we're gonna look back at this and be like, yo, do you remember when we used to shoot Illuviums and they just ran away? Like they just ran away. Like what? Like we're just gonna laugh and be like, yo, what the hell, man? It's gonna feel like a completely different game. And we're gonna kind of laugh at each other. Remember when we used to go into this big world alone? Like, yo, what the hell? Like, what was that?
Just shoot the orbs that went in.
Yeah, yo, even the orbs.
There's already people who probably don't even know what that is. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Even beyond that, like I remember a couple years ago sitting in the Discord talking with Viper, and I was gonna be like, can you believe there's gonna be a day where we're not just sitting in here waiting for the game to come out? Like that to me is like, you saying that right now to me gets me so excited from remembering that in the past, and we're about to have this game out that we have all loved and some of us have even worked on, and it's just I don't want to say it's a dream come true because that's cheesy and cringe, but it's really exciting. Like it's awesome.
I will say, I don't care if it's like a dream come true, man. All of us have been here, like all three of us, we've been here for a long time supporting it. Yeah. Like I started as a content creator, the Chief as well. You're now part-time on the team. It's like, man, we started
like the same time actually. Right around that same time.
Exactly. I think we might have roughly around the same time. But yeah, it's just nuts, man, seeing where we've gone, seeing where we've come, and yeah, once you guys jump in, I think Najib, you would have tried the tutorial internally, but yeah, I think Jimbo, once you check it out, the rest of the team, the rest of the community tries out the tutorial, they get introduced to the lore, they see it. This is the statement that always comes to mind now is, whoa, the foundation is set, we just need time now. The foundation is very much there, the world, the IP, everything is very much there. It's just, we need more time to build it out but I promise you we're gonna get there, and it's going to be insane. So, yeah, I'm very excited for less than 24 hours. Stressed out, legit waking up every hour when I do get 4 hours of sleep, thinking that I missed out something, which I probably have. But yeah, it's almost here.
Yeah, just the craziness, like from being I'm part-time on the Illuvium team, and I know you're full-time, but just this past day since they just kind of had that late minute or last minute announcement of Illuvium 0, like it's been crazy. I'm trying to get work done with that. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to really play it all tomorrow, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at who we got in here.
Yo, big man Nicholas.
Hey, what's good, Nick?
What's going on? How we doing?
Good. Finally got you on this show. Finally got you on this show.
Big smile, man. That's the biggest smile I've seen Nick have in a long time.
we're on mainnet. Happy days. Yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah, well, at least
I'm having a blast.
Yeah. So we like we said, we had a question prepared for each of you, but I'm gonna go to the question that we're gonna ask everybody since TSG just answered it. So Nick, my question is, in 10 years, when we look back at these days, these early days of Illuvium, like, what are we gonna be saying? Are we gonna be like, oh, oh, you got in Amazon early, you got in Illuvium early, like, what are we gonna be saying?
We're going to be saying we need seasonal servers and servers that are like fresh start servers. I think that's always the way with like the big MMOs, and you can only capture the magic of launch once, and I think it's a really special time. So I think we'll all be looking back, kind of wishing we could run it back, but it's lucky we're all here for it. We can dive in tomorrow, and yeah, it's going to be a time.
It's going to be a time.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm so pumped too. You've been playing Zero today?
Yeah, since launch I've been blasting, man. We're level 50. We're min-maxing hard. I've got the sweat dripping down my face.
Bro's back is stuck to his chair already. Level 15.
Going hard. In my poop bucket, like cartons.
The poop bucket and the pee jug. I feel that.
Oh my goodness.
Did you get a little surf session in before you started playing?
Yeah, a bit of gym and a bit of a run. And now I'm just like set, and we'll run that back tomorrow. We'll do a bit of training, and then we'll just be blasting from launch.
Awesome. So one question I had for you specifically was, so I mean, if no one's aware here, this is Nick from Illuvium. I took over as Nick from Illuvium because now I'm the only Nick there, but Nick was a big part of Illuvium leading up until just I don't know 6 months ago. But you've been part of the team. You're still obviously very bullish on Illuvium, on the project. How does it feel to go from being like such an important part internally to now kind of just observing it from the outside?
Yeah, it's good. So yeah, I mean, like I'd be lying if I didn't say there was like times where it was a bit bittersweet, because obviously I really enjoyed working with so many people in the team, and the team are really bright. It's a real pleasure to work with a lot of the guys in there. There's plenty of names who I really miss working with to some extent, right? But at the same time, it's also good to kind of kick back now and wait for the updates, and the updates are coming thick and fast, so that's really enjoyable. And then on the flip side, I was lucky enough to kind of link up with Annie and Lou and the Ethless team, and yeah, we're going gangbusters there as well. So there's a couple of really cool projects that not even just for like my personal interest, but from a career kind of point of view, there's some really interesting things that we're doing, like obviously the Liz token launch, or we're also looking at like another AI kind of powered project, which is really exciting. So yeah, like from a project standpoint, we're working with some really great stuff and great people. So yeah, now I get to just get to soak it all up and enjoy Illuvium as a customer.
Yeah, I was so glad to see you like link up with Eat Blizzards there, because obviously Eat Blizzards has always been so tight with Illuvium, and maybe it'll help the partnerships even more. Maybe we can have another partnership outside of Battle in the Beyond and expand it a little bit more.
Yeah.
There's so many things that Eat Blizzards can do, and that's a fantastic project.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, it's a super exciting time. Lou and Annie have been going crazy with scope and kind of plans, so it's all about to kind of come to fruition there as well.
Can you? Sorry, Najee, can I jump in? Yo, Nick, any alpha, anything that you can kind of drop about wagering? Is that even? Yeah, I don't know. I'll just leave that open-ended. I'll leave that to you.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, there's quite a cool kind of AI-powered project on the way, and it will really sit at the center between all of the best Web3 games. I'll say that much, and I hope I haven't already said too much.
Awesome, Jimbo. You got a question here for Nick?
Yeah, so we've all been playing the betas a lot recently, right? Because we're all just waiting for the main net to come out so we can practicing on beta so we can be as efficient as possible. But what is one aspect of the games you think people may have missed that will surprise them when they actually go and play it on mainnet?
Yeah, I think the biggest surprise will be just how impactful really playing with your own assets finally is. You know, like even for me now, you know, I played a lot of and did a lot of testing on my own on the land that I own on testnet, but now that it's the real deal, you know, there's no wipes and we're you know going hard. It's just a completely different feeling. But then I would also say, like, I think something that will really surprise people in the future, or once we've launched, is just how quickly updates will come. One thing that is certainly true is that the past 3 years has been all about kind of building those really broad foundations across, you know, multiple games, all of the infrastructure, web apps, account areas, you name it. It's very broad, and you don't get that really high impact, like those, you know, yeah, as I say, really high impact type features that are kind of being able to be dropped out of the gate. But now that we do have that kind of that base, I think the team will really be able to really focus in on what people want to see and knock those features together quickly and get them released. So I think we start to see a real avalanche of exciting features as well.
Fantastic. Hey, TSG, so my streaming software is a little crazy. Gonna need to use that link for the next person. But hey, thank you so much for coming on. I know you're working hard on the team right now, and you're just as excited as everybody else in the community right now.
Definitely, yeah. All right, but yeah, appreciate you guys having me on. Nick, always good to see you, man, and I'm sure we'll see battle out in the arena or whatever it is. All right, enjoy, guys.
Good luck. But speaking of the arena, Nick, have you tried? I don't know if you got any early access to the Gauntlet. Have you tried that yet? Or have you been watching it?
I have a little bit, but I haven't gone too deep in it. I mean, I played a lot of TFT previously, so I know what to expect. But I've been saving it mostly for once I'm playing, you know, with my own assets. Once we've launched it, at least, right? So. No, I've been grinding in WoW Classic, the kind of the Season of Discovery, and then also playing a lot of Illuvium Zero now. But yeah, once we're launched, I'll be going hard on Overworld, and then diving into Arena. Is kind of the way I'm letting it unfold.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do now because like I can't even keep up with Illuvium Zero today. I don't know how I'm gonna play any of the Overworld over the next like week, but.
I think we're really lucky we launched Zero 24 hours early, just to give everybody with land a chance to kind of get up into those later stages where it takes multiple hours to start ticking things over, or else you'd just be like, yeah.
Yeah. Did you buy some extra builders?
Yeah. I think that's huge out of the gate. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I picked up one extra builder for each of my plots, and then a second builder for my tier 3, and it's been pretty good. Having those extra builders there, I feel like I can make a little bit of progression here.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about. Like, what does that even mean?
Open up your land and play some Illuvium Zero.
After a week or two of playing Overworld, I will get into Zero.
The economy needs you. Go on.
Yeah, right? There's gonna be people purchasing this fuel tomorrow. So we need your plots producing it.
That's it.
Maybe I'll
feed the
somebody
nation
to work on it for me.
But so Nick, so what exactly are you doing with Ethers? So I'm just curious.
Yeah, so I mean, similar to kind of what I was doing at Illuvium, right? So a lot of just production type stuff for operations, and more in the operations side of things now with Eth Lizards. Kind of helping Lou out there. Yeah, just kind of obviously project delivery, which is kind of like the bread and butter, but also just trying to kind of dip my toes in where I can and help out, basically. At Illuvium, it was being torn in so many different directions that I was getting a bit fried. But with Eth Lizards, we're able to really just focus in a bit, which is good. So yeah, the mind is feeling a lot better for that, for sure.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah. I was gonna say thank you, because even just me being part-time on the team right now, I see how you can just get, pulled in so many different directions. You were also part of the strategy sub-council, when I was in there, and you did a ton of work just in the council, and that's not even like really part of the job, that was kind of just extra on top of everything else.
Totally. Yeah, but also for the love of it, right? Like, yeah. That's the thing where I say it is a bit bittersweet because I'm a gamer. I love what Illuvium's building, and but ultimately, for sure, the right call, right? So.
Yeah. Have you been getting some rest now?
Yeah. Well, that was the major issue. Like, a lot of the meetings were kicking off at 6 p.m. to midnight to 1 a.m. to early morning hours, and just back to back for a couple of years is just got to the point, right? So.
Yeah, it's definitely a little wild being on like so many different parts of the globe here. I mean, just ESG, for example, he's exactly 12 hours off from me. So it's like, I could be like getting ready to go to bed, and he's just like, "Hey, I just woke up. Like, can you go check this out?" And I'm just
like, times I've been messaged like in the middle of the night, "Hey, jump on this stream." It's like, bro, I'm asleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I was gonna say just last night it was like 11 p.m. for me, and I had already shut the laptop, everything, got into bed, and TSU's like, yo, hey, can you hop on a call real quick? I'm like,
no, I can't.
Yeah, here I come. If Illuvium needs it, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I heard that in the current interview. You mentioned that you're obviously working your full-time job, but then also part-time at Illuvium, so you've got some late nights there.
Honestly, it's been pretty crazy, including actually making some content and stuff. I'm on that, I'm honestly on that grind of like, this isn't very sustainable, but I'm gonna see how far I can go until I break. And so far, I've been doing it.
Watch out. Good work though. And this is why we use the Jape and Jim Bruno's credit codes, right? We back the boys.
Yeah.
Bro, as soon as you said that Nick's face, I was like, that's
I'm like, yeah. Use my code, so when a bigger creator comes and he convinces you to change it, like at least I can get some help for the first month. Or use Jimbo's code. Jimbo's got one too, right? What are you? Just Jimbo? Did he make it yet?
No, I haven't actually. I need to do that right now.
Go on and make it. It's probably gonna be
Jimbo. Chill it up.
I got it. I'll get it taken care of. It's fine.
Awesome. Oh man. Oh, here we go. We got another person. Let's get him in.
Who's this?
Oh, there he is.
This is Scoriox.
Ranger.
Scoriox, nice to...
Howdy.
Glad to have you on.
Morning.
How you doing? Yeah, is it morning for you? Afternoon?
It's weird for me. This is my first day of annual leave that I've got off. And so going to the shops at like 10 a.m. on or 9 a.m. on like a Thursday is weird.
It's awesome.
It's real weird.
How nice is that? Yeah.
Yeah, because I've asked so many times.
You've got 2 weeks off, Scoriox?
Yeah, so I've got these 2 days, Thursday, Friday, and then 2 weeks. So yeah, 2 and a bit.
Huge. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is nice. I took extra time off for my day job, but now I'm just working extra for Illuvium, so I feel like I'm just kind of just switching from one to the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been asking you to come on this every once in a while, this rundown show, and I think you're always at work or something at this time.
Yeah, so, I mean it's Thursday 11 a.m. It would be weird if I wasn't at work.
Yeah. Well, we were just talking like it's tough to do everything that we're doing, having the day job, making content. You're on the council. It's so much.
It's
But glad you
it's
were
a lot
able
of
to
work, but I wouldn't change a thing. I just want to help out the community any way I can, and maybe I bite off a little bit more than I can chew sometimes. That's for sure. But just doing what I do.
Yeah. Awesome. So I got a question for you. Actually, you know what? We'll flip it back and ask the first question that everybody's going to ask. In 10 years, when we look back at this time in Illuvium, the early years, what are people going to be saying? What are you going to be saying?
We won't know until the launch itself, because what if the launch is a little bit slow to get off with? I think that would be like a really big talking point. But in general, I think people are going to focus on the good times. I think we've had a lot of ups and downs in the Illuvium community. I think Nick knows that better than anyone else. But and it seemed like we've had some really dark times where everyone is upset at Labs and the council and everyone else, and we've gone through ebbs and flows. It's my third council now, so believe me, I've seen plenty of it myself. But I think after the launch, especially if Illuvium is doing well, even if it's not like Blizzard level, right? But like it's doing nicely, I think people are going to focus on, they built all this stuff out in the open, there was lots of community input, or like at least a lot of it, not necessarily all of it, but most of it, and things like that. And I think that's what people are going to, those times are a lot easier to remember, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, I would just add that I was kind of reflecting on that yesterday, after seeing one of Sam with the squids, and I think, you know, there has been so much input over the years from the community and the wider DAO that it's really been such a team effort as well. You know, we've got, as I said, like 150 people at the coalface delivering. You know, we've all been in the councils in one way or another and seen the amount of work and thinking and discussion that goes into those meetings. And so yeah, I think just a huge team effort, right?
Yeah, and I think us being part of the council and the team, like, I feel like we see this more than a lot of the community, but there really has been so many ideas that just came from somebody in the community, and it was just like brought to the council, into the team. Oh, that's a really good idea. Let's try to make it happen. You know, and I know some of the people in the community were like, we have so many ideas and none of them get implemented. But like, even if only 5% of the ideas get implemented, it's still the community that's bringing that to the team, where, you know, a lot of other, you know, Web 2 traditional games, like, they don't get any of that. They don't get any community feedback. They just put out a game and say, this is our 10th generation of Pokemon, you're gonna buy it. You know, we don't get your feedback.
Even games like RuneScape, where there are polls for the players to vote on different changes in the game, they're still not making the changes. We still have so much more what's the word I'm looking for? Agency than any other game in Web 2. So that's people overlook that and take advantage of that fact, I think, more than they should.
I think a good example is even the training gyms in Illuvium Zero. That's one of the big ones. And I think the reason that that's getting through so easily, well, that's not the point I'm trying to make, but the reason it's doing so well is because it's simple to a certain extent, and it's really easy to implement and things like that. But more my point was, it's not even fully approved yet, and it's had some issues in the council with specificity or whatever it is, but Kieran on AMAs lately has been talking about it as if it already exists. And I think that says a lot, that like, if the community idea resonates really well with the team will implement it. And that's what it is. It's a team effort between everyone. And I think the community needs to remember that. And sometimes, like you said, like 5% of ideas, like if the community has 50 ideas and 1 or 2 of them make it through, that doesn't seem like that many. But the internal team is coming up with 50, 60 ideas every day, I bet. I think Nick could probably attest to that. But, like, it's not like every idea gets through if the team says it. That's not really how it works. It only gets through if it's feasible, if it makes sense, if it helps the game, you know? Like, there's so much it has to go through, and it's going to be 1% of ideas no matter who you are.
And I will just add that I think we see more of it as well, you know, because there was a real period, and I mean, it's been like 3 years, right, where the scopes are already so great that the team will just run off their feet trying to deliver. And then now that we're kind of getting our head above water, we can start saying, oh, there's some really cool ideas here. Let's start exploring these more and really digging in and seeing what we can kind of pick and pull from these. So I think we see more of it. But yeah, it is super exciting. So
Yeah. And just when we were just thinking back, a little while at this point to the strategy subcouncil, we're talking 9 months ago. One thing that we kept hearing is like, you can't increase the scope too much right now. Like, great idea. Let's save it for 6 months from now. Save it for open beta. Like, fantastic idea. Now we're getting to that point where, okay, we're hitting open beta, so now those other ideas can start coming back, and they can start being, passed in IIPs and start to be, implemented.
Yeah, I think the other thing is people's time is going to be very different now. In the past, it was very much, we're playing this game, but this game doesn't really have a purpose. And so we just want new features to try out because that's a lot more excitement. That's a lot more engaging. And now as we head into open beta, everything's on mainnet. And what that means is that people have a reason to play. They're going to get these NFTs. They're going to get all that stuff. They're going to make some progress that's not going to be reset. And so the focus isn't so much about, we want the next update now. But that gives the team the breathing room to create those updates, but release them, they'll release them at some point. That'll be super duper exciting. But the community's focus is going to be mostly on playing the game, or at least half on playing the game, and less completely focused on what's coming next for Illuvium.
Yeah. So I just want to say, Nick, thank you so much for coming on. Definitely want to have you back on the show again. Differently, maybe we could have you on talk a lot about e-figures. But I do need that link for the next person. So stay.
Ciao, guys. Let's do it tomorrow. Excited to talk tomorrow. I know Scorex, I'll see you at some point. So peace, guys.
Yeah. I'll see you in the Discord.
Bud. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Nick.
Get the hell out of here. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so Scoriox, one of the questions I have for you is, since you're like the Illuvium creator that I always feel like I'm trailing. I'm always like trying to play catch up to you. What's your plan for basically now, from a content perspective? What do you have prepared for this week? What are you doing over the next 3 months? Maybe give me some advice, or any other content creator in this space. What should we be doing over the next 3 months to really, help out the community and grow our channels?
That's a very good question. I've been listening to an audiobook called The YouTube Formula, which is written by a man called Daryl Eves, who's like some sort of YouTube prodigy, content genius. He even helped Mr. Beast in some of his earlier days and helped him with his content strategy in particular. And so his insights have been really helpful. One of the big things I've learned is every channel is unique. And so you do need to consider that when I'm talking about what should a content creator do to grow, because it's different for everyone. But one of the big things I did recently that I found really helpful is actually figuring out what categories of videos you have for your channel. In my case, I have, I think I nailed it down to 6 main categories that get views. Everything else is basically not doing a whole lot for the community or for myself. And I might still make some videos, but some of the key ones were my analytics videos, which are very unique to me. Then the news videos, and then some interesting ones were beginner guides at killer with search. And then I have some more in-depth guides, which aren't as good, but they're great for search. And so everything has a different place on your channel. And making sure you do a mix of everything is very important. You need to do, like, if we put this on like a month-long schedule, let's say you need 2 videos that are really good for search, so your beginner guides in particular do really well. 2 videos that are really good for browse, maybe, and those things are like more of my perspective videos, opinions, first impressions, that sort of stuff do really well in browse, as long as you have a killer thumbnail and title. And then you need 2 that are also quite good for suggested, but they tend to link off of your other stuff. So you want things that you've already got for browse, and you want videos that aren't the exact same thing, but they're similar. And so those 2 connect and stuff like that. And so you want to make sure you're diversifying across them. If you're a smaller channel, building for search is key. Personally, I found beginner guides do insanely well. I got something like 10,000 views on my Marvia beginner guide and 10,000 views on my Guild of Guardians beginner guide. And so that was my big focus leading up to this launch. Now, I don't have as many videos as I would have liked to have because I'm focusing on the 24-hour stream at the moment. Yeah. But for example, I just released the Illuvium Zero beginner guide at a time that my audience is not awake, and it's already a 1 out of 10, right? I timed it with the launch. You've got to time these things as well. And I'm like, all right, Illuvium Zero is coming out first. Illuvium Zero beginner guide. I have 2 Illuvium Gauntlet videos coming out soon as well, because you need to understand the audience as well as you can. And when you see enough YouTube comments, Twitter comments, you ask your community enough questions, the patterns become insanely obvious. And every single time I play Gauntlet, everyone's like, oh, how do you play Gauntlet? I've never played TFT before. And that blew my freaking mind. I'm telling you guys, I've played TFT a bunch, and I just assumed, I know a lot of people are here from like a Pokemon background or a crypto gaming background. I cannot tell you how surprised I am that maybe 1% of the community knows what TFT is, or has played or seen
I've never
TFT,
played it
knows the
before.
rules. That shocked me like you wouldn't believe. But once you get rid of all your own biases, because in my head I was like, TFT is easy to learn, easy to play. Once you get rid of those biases, it's really easy to go, oh, people need to understand how TFT works. They need the very core beginner basics. And so I made that video, and that's coming out soon. And I've made sure that it's unique to me and everything like that. And it's like about as beginner guide as you could possibly get. Like, I explain like the UI and what it all means and stuff like that. Like, it's really in depth, but the better you understand your audience, the better your videos are going to be. It really isn't that much more complicated.
Yeah, I need to get that from you, because I'm still on that train of like, let me think of something. Oh, that sounds like a good video. Let me put it out there. I don't really have any rhyme or reason. I'm just like, even last night, I was just like, oh, I'm in the Discord. People are having trouble migrating this. I'm like, I'm going to capitalize on this. I made a quick video at like 11:30 last night, did a quick edit, put it up there, and it's a 1 of 10 on YouTube. So sometimes it's just being quick to the race. I was actually happy that I finally beat you to something, because I was like, every time I think of something coming up, I'm like, Scoriox already has a video on that, but I beat you to it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. You don't even need to beat someone if the video is better than what they did, and that's very possible sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not even about being fast to the race. If you could try and predict something like that, like, I mean, it's harder with like something like the migration, but I wish I had the time to build a getting crypto onto IMX tutorial. I'm planning on doing one of them today, because that's a huge question. Anyone new coming in that's crypto game, IMX is really complicated. Like, it seems easy for anyone who's just on IMX, but for anyone who didn't start on IMX, it's painful as hell. And so that's going to be a killer video. I recommend you, if you beat me to it, then good. I hope people get the help they need. But I think where the difference is I don't know if you would have considered the individual users. In my case, I know that not only the title and thumbnail, but especially in the content, the tutorial needs to include those who are going straight from centralized exchange. It needs to include those that have a MetaMask, those that are moving between passport wallets. I need to include these 3 things and try and make that clear to anyone clicking the video. And I'm not sure if you would have thought about all of those 3 things, which can make a really big difference.
Well, yeah, I do like to, have a more comprehensive video if I have time to think about it. But last night was one of those few times where I was just like, all right, something is needed right now. Let me see if I can put something together and get it out there. I definitely prefer the more quality over quantity thing. Like, I would rather have one video, like, well put together, as best as I can possibly do for a week, than have like 5 videos and just let me come up with anything.
Yeah, 5 videos that are like worthless and shitty, like Scoriox. So I mean, it is one of those. I'm just kidding. Scoriox makes great content.
No, well, I have that other unique problem where I'm working a 9-to-5 job, and so most of my videos have no editing, they're one take. And I'm trying to focus more on which videos to make, and the thumbnail and title, of course, and some of the really core elements of the script, things like the hook, the ending, and stuff like that. And so the middle of it's a little bit nonchalant, it's not very refined or concise, but it gets the job done. I think we, luckily as content creators I don't know if it's extended to all of crypto gaming, but in the Illuvium space, we have a much older audience, which helps us so much more than you guys realize. It's insane. Like, if your audience is like 12-year-olds, then you've got to have like something on the screen every half a second. But our typical audience from my analytics is something like, I think 35 to 44 is a really, 25 to 44, sorry, is like a really big demographic. The younger ones, not so much, and even a little bit older, that's quite a large demographic as well. And so they're a lot more interested in good information and they're a lot. They don't really care about how much editing or how fast-paced it is and all that sort of stuff nearly as much. They just care about getting the information they're after, and so that really helps us out more than you guys might realize.
Helps you out more. I would prefer to have the 12-year-olds personally.
Jimbo,
Actually,
you
hold
can't
up,
make those kind of jokes.
That's actually not what I meant. I meant like younger audiences watch the kind of content I want to make, and that came out really, really bad in a way that I did not mean for it to. So that is, I'm just gonna stop talking. Actually, that's what I'm gonna
Dr.
do.
Disrespect is his idol.
No, we're not making those jokes. We're not making those jokes. It was literally just came out weird.
JP.
Guys, how's it going?
Join us.
Good.
How you doing?
What crazy stuff did the Scoriox say before I came in here?
Oh, it was Jimbo who said the crazy stuff.
No.
We were talking about like a target audience for Illuvium. You know, Scoriox was saying 25 to 44. I was thinking, yeah, I'm right in the middle of that. Usually I would be old in a gaming community, but I feel like I'm right in the middle. But Jimbo, he wants to be, he wants his viewers to be 12-year-olds. He wants to just make funny dances and let the 12-year-old just like.
It came out a little bit worse than that, and I didn't mean for it to, but it is what it is. I want to make highly edited fun videos. There you go.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clip that.
You guys are so stupid.
So JP, the question that we've been asking everybody, so we'll start off with that one, is in 10 years, when we're looking back at Illuvium, the time we are now, these early days, what are we going to be saying? Especially from someone like you, like you're building in the Web3 space, like you're one of those early people who saw something, you know, in this area. You're obviously bullish on it. You know, what are we going to be thinking of Illuvium in 10 years from now?
10 years.
Yeah, 2034, when Bitcoin's $1 million and we look back at Illuvium.
I think that I think it's going to be very similar in IP to that of Pokemon and stuff of that nature. I think that there will be probably, I can't believe I'm saying this right after that debacle, but I think there probably will be more adoption of like younger kids that are coming in and like falling in love with the characters, and Jimbo will be their favorite creator. And it's gonna no, but I think there'll be kind of this this shift into, I think by then we'll have multiple different games out, probably all kinds of plushies and physicals, maybe a Netflix series or something. Like in 10 years we're gonna be pretty mainstream, I think. And I think a lot of us that are invested now will look back at Illuvium as kind of this pivotal moment where Web3 started to see adoption in gaming and where it started to make sense to people. So I think it's exciting. It's going to be a bright future.
Yeah, and maybe I'm biased because Pokemon was a big part of my past. I think it was actually Scoriox was talking about it. Some people coming from a Pokemon background, some people coming from TFT. Pokemon is one of the things that really drove me to Illuvium. And like, I feel like it was one of the first real IPs that, you know, just took over. And it might even be too bullish to think that Illuvium's going to do the same thing Pokemon did. But even if it does a fraction of what Pokemon did, like, it could be something huge. And like you said, I think, you know, maybe a new game comes out, it's like Kart Racer or something that can be targeting a younger audience. And then we start bringing in that new generation that's going to grow up with Illuvium, you know?
Yep. 100%.
I think the thing is Pokemon, the more I look into this stuff and analyze this stuff, Pokemon really got big because of the anime, and that was part of building the IP and things like that. So I don't think Illuvium could really reach those heights until it has an entire media franchise backing it. But I am really looking forward to some sort of, even if it's a short movie, like a 20-minute movie, Illuvium movie, CGI or cartoon, doesn't really matter that much as long as it's consistent. I think that would actually be a really big deal for Illuvium in general.
Yeah, I'd love to see that kind of marketing, like a movie, a TV show, Netflix. I still remember when I was a kid going to like, the Pokemon the first movie or whatever it was, and getting like a card from going to the show. And I'm pretty sure I still have that card. It'd be cool to to be able to scan something on a movie ticket and get an NFT from going to like the first movie for Illuvium. I always think of like it'd be cool if Illuvium had like toys with McDonald's, like a partnership with McDonald's. So you go to get a Happy Meal and you get a little toy, and maybe that comes with an NFT. The toy can be for the kid, and then the dad will get the NFT and load it up on the blockchain. Like, I think that would be awesome. I can't wait to see what happens over these next 10 years. It's really going to be incredible.
Yeah, your obesity crisis is not going to get better after that. There's so many parents, they're going to want that NFT so bad. They're going to get all the Happy Meals.
I'm gonna get Happy Meals every day for a month, and you know what? I'll enjoy it, and then I'll work it off the next month. But JP, so a question I have for you is, so obviously you're the CEO of Arcade. You're building, you know, something in this space, Web3 space. You're looking at all these different Web3 gaming projects. I think I've heard you say you've looked at, you know, over 200-300 of them at this point. What stands out from Illuvium that you kind of puts you up, you know, a step above the rest? Like, I'm sure there's other great projects that you know of, but like obviously Illuvium is towards the top of that list. So what is it about Illuvium that you're bullish on?
Yeah, I think what first really attracted me to Illuvium, it was one of the first Web3 games that I really took an interest in, and it was one of Arcade's first investments also. And what really I think stood out initially was the obvious use case of kind of this intersection of a Pokemon-esque universe that's being created, and how on-chain and NFTs and like a creature capture, that type of game makes a lot of sense for Web3. And then beyond that, two other main things. I thought the graphics were beautiful, even the super early concept graphics, right? Like, I remember Atlas was like one of the first things I saw. It was 3-4 years ago at this point, and even then, back then, I was like, all right, this thing has like staying power. Like, that is a cool looking little creature. Like, people are gonna like this kind of stuff. And then lastly, the team. So I always research the team before Arcade invests in a group or in a game. We usually meet with the team, and the team makes a huge difference, because there's lots of people. Kazi, my business partner at Arcade, says something that I think is very spot on, and it might be a common saying, I don't know, but you know, basically ideas are cheap, right? Like, anyone can get the idea, but actually executing on it, especially in an emerging industry like Web3 gaming, where there isn't this set precedent and the correct way to do it, you have to be bringing a team that has the talent and the execution ability to come in and do something that's cutting edge, and this team really has that. You look at, and back then it was Von Neumann, right? But you look at the quality of the art and the story behind the person that's doing the graphics and the animation. You look at the fact that the Warwick brothers are like this titan of industry. Like, I looked into Kieran's past businesses and like things that he's done in entrepreneurship. I looked into Kane. I looked into, you know, all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, all of these different moving pieces are really coming together in the right way. Kane has the industry connections necessary to raise funding. Kieran has the entrepreneurial background. This Von Neumann character is like some crazy artist. Aaron is like this genius game designer that hasn't had his time in the spotlight yet. It's like, you look at all those different things, and the team just was too good to not be bullish on. And that's kind of what got me into it initially. And I think for a lot of other games, when you're stacking up against a team of that caliber and a team that ships product that is as high quality as Illuvium does, you really stand apart from most of the competition. There are some other games that are building in a similar fashion, but they are few and far between.
Awesome. And you know, speaking of Von Neumann and Grant Warwick, yeah, the graphics were one thing that really drew me in. The Pokemon style that looked like that had the adult graphics basically. But I'll do a semi little spoiler here. Our next guest, our 5th guest, is supposed to be Grant. I did talk to him last night, and he said he was going to join. He hasn't responded to me yet, but I just hit him up on Discord here. We'll see if he responds. I don't know. Maybe he forgot. But Grant could be joining us in the next 5 minutes, and if he does, he needs to use your link, Scoriox. So, Scoriox, thank you for coming on. We'll be in touch. We're always talking in the council and the Discord about different things. But thanks for making time to come on. I know you're just waiting to get back to Illuvium Zero.
It's been fun. Thanks for having me on today. I haven't been playing a whole lot of Illuvium Zero, trying to save it for my stream.
Yeah, playing as we speak.
But no, I'm glad I got to finally come onto a rundown. Since I have time off work, and who knows, maybe the next 2 weeks I might be able to come on again if you need while I have my time off. But yeah, it's been good. Have a good one, guys.
More videos.
Have a good one.
Thanks for coming on.
More videos.
Yeah.
More videos. Yeah, JP, he couldn't figure something out, so I was like, oh, just watch the video I just made last night.
His video did
solve the problem, right?
It did. It solved the problem pretty much instantly. And Scoriox was giving me crap earlier because I think you might be in that. Oh, it was this chat, right? Giving me crap about how I don't know the basics of Illuvium Zero apparently. So I'm gonna watch Scoriox's beginner guide.
Yeah.
I thought I knew
some
what
things
was
have
up,
definitely changed. You can't look back at the guides from a year ago at this point, because it's it almost feels like a whole new game. But have you been? How many lands are you playing right now, actually? Because I know between you and I know Arcade has a ton of them, right? But yeah, how many are you playing?
Yeah, I am playing 8 tier 1s and 1 tier 3. So when I was buying land, I really wanted to have one of each region, and then I doubled up on a couple of them that were just too good to pass up, and then I got a tier 3. But yeah, the tier 1s are brutal, and I mean, it's fine. I'm very much a collector, and that's another reason why I love Illuvium, but I'm very much a collector in the sense that, like, I wasn't gonna buy one of each region for like a tier 3 or a tier 4, but I was like, I can at least get one of each region just to have one of each and do tier 1s with them, and then I'll get a tier 3 that hopefully carries me with the fuel production. But yeah,
I know some other people who tried that, or who went about that strategy. I didn't go that strategy. I was just like, my goal during that land sale was, let me just get the highest tier I can get. I thought it was only going to be a tier 2. I thought that was the best I was going to do. But then I think it dropped to like the right price point, and I was like, I'm jumping and I'm getting that tier 3. So I'm glad I get the tier 3, and that's really, honestly, today that's the only thing I've really been playing. I can't keep switching between all of these. The tier 1s feel like I can't get anywhere because I'm so used to that tier 3 where it's just like non-stop. But I couldn't imagine flipping between 8 tier 1s right now.
Yeah, I just haven't.
Have you done anything else all day? Have you even worked today?
Not really. I did. So my team is out. My team is out in Nashville, or headed to Nashville for the Bitcoin conference, and so fortunately, I guess it's a little bit quieter around the office since a lot of guys are getting ready to travel and stuff. So I did a little bit of work, but I've mostly just been. I've had my iPad up next to me, and I've mostly just been flipping like between the different plots all day, trying to get caught up here and then yeah, we got to get the mission pools for Arcade set up. Because the team's gone in Nashville, we probably won't launch them until Monday, but we're gonna hopefully start the process of actually managing them today. And the whole IMX passport thing threw us for a loop a little bit because we like to keep our land in cold storage, but
me too. I was a little scared to. Yeah, I was a little scared to move my land, but I was like, I got to do it. Yeah, but actually, speaking of that, the conference coming up, I mean, what's your take on? Well, let's just go with Trump. What's Trump gonna say? Is this gonna be bullish?
Yeah, I think it probably will be. I got to be careful not to get too political, but yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be bullish. Having 2 presidential candidates there is definitely bringing out the it is making crypto a bipartisan issue. It's becoming clear that there will be regulatory clarity, like it's just a matter of time, which is good for all of us. and it makes it easier for companies like Arcade to build. It makes it easier for companies, you know, like Arcade is a startup, and Illuvium. In order for it to scale to the next millions of people, it makes it easier for that to happen when there's regulatory clarity. But I think it's going to be a really good week. This conference every year is usually a bullish catalyst of some kind, and the chart looks like it wants to rip. Not financial advice. It's dipping right now, I think.
A little cool down today, yeah.
Yeah, a little cool down, but I think we end the week strong, and I think it's looking good.
Yeah, I mean, I have never been like a political person, but like I can't remember a president even mentioning Bitcoin ever before, or a prospective president. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like you said, we get two out of the three, right? Because we got RFK in there too, he'd be very bullish for crypto. But yeah,
technically it's 2 out of 2 right now, but I mean,
yeah, semantics.
Yeah. Maybe Kamala has some ETH, you know, in a hidden wallet somewhere.
Yeah, and JD Vance has disclosed above 250,000 Bitcoin position. I guess they have to disclose that kind of stuff. And you know, Trump has been friendly to the industry in a way that I think he wasn't last cycle. I think he's kind of determining now that it's becoming more of a voter issue for people. It's catching a little bit more attention, and RFK, of course, yeah. I mean, he's even went as far as to say he wants to back, you know, basically provide the transparency for the Federal Reserve on chain and stuff, and like that's above and beyond what I think most people are going to allow to happen. But just the fact that we have 2 of 3 or 2 of 2 presidential candidates talking about and saying the word blockchain, I think is bullish for our industry, certainly.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching those. I'm sure I can watch them somewhere, right? They'll be streamed on...
Yeah, they should be. They should be streamed, usually. I'm obviously not going out to Nashville this year, but they should be streamed, yeah. And if anyone watching this is headed out to Nashville, hit me up. We have several of our guys there. Sure, they'd love to meet up.
Awesome. Jimbo, I don't know, do you have a question for JPU? While we wait to see if anyone else hops in here.
Sorry,
You're good.
Yeah, so my question basically was, I was just interested in what your opinion was on how big the Sorry, give me 1 second.
You're good.
How big can the market for items, accounts, cosmetics, etc. get if Web3 gaming were to take over, and how big of an impact is lending going to be for that situation specifically?
Yeah, I think so the thing with cosmetics generally are, I see it as a transfer. It's a change in just the way that money is transferring hands compared to how it is currently. So a lot of, you know, obviously in traditional gaming, you're padding the pockets of these big studios when you're just buying skins and stuff, and you have no ownership of it. In Web3, that's obviously a different scenario, and I think Karen made a good point on, it might have been Jave's AMA, or maybe it was Squarex, but he made a good point that the direction that he sees this going is that it'll be peer-to-peer cosmetics generally. You'll buy the cosmetics from someone else that has minted it or created it, and it will the studio benefits by a transaction fee or some kind of fee, but it's not getting the principal sale of that. And it builds this economy around these cosmetics, and the cosmetics themselves are capped a little bit in value by what kind of utility and collector value they have. If it's something that is very rare, some of this stuff could get really expensive. If it's stuff that's being churned out, it's like common, but still, you know, something that people, because I mean, you think about, people buy skins off of these Web 2 games with no expectation of rarity or no expectation of resale value. So you'll still have that group of people that are okay buying the same skin that almost everyone else has for $3 from someone else. And then, you know, as far as the value of the actual core NFT assets, that really depends on player base and how much. I mean, we've got what, 20,000 plots of land. I mean, if we explode to 100,000 players, that's very quickly going to react to the or land value is going to react to that as more and more people come into the ecosystem. So I think it is a little bit flexible in that way. But and then yeah, I mean, lending's kind of a tricky one because Arcade benefits from lending technology because it makes our mission pool process easier. It makes it easier for us to have a trustless or non-custodial way to delegate access to certain plots or whatever to gamers that then conduct mission pools with them. But I think that I think the games that build in their own in-game lending systems are probably going to come out on top just because they're able to charge transaction fees on a lot of those processes. Third parties, while they still solve the same problem often, it's a little bit harder to integrate with. It's a little bit harder to for the studio to capitalize on the traffic that's going through. Like Big Time has their own in-game kind of delegation system, and they make tons of money, just crazy amounts of money from fees by allowing for that process to happen. So I think lending, the games that do it as their own like product or studio, will see lots of revenue come from those things. Third parties are great; they fill gaps where it's needed, so that the studio can focus on other things. But inevitably, it lowers the barrier to entry for people to come in and use NFTs they may otherwise not be able to afford.
Yeah, and I like the way Illuvium's doing it. Like you said, Illuvium's not selling that many things directly to the consumer. It's more like, here's a game, you go in, you can farm these resources, put in the time to create these assets, whether they're the core NFTs or the skins, and then transact between the different community members. You know, it's more of that peer-to-peer than it is that B2C, you know?
Yeah, I think that's definitely the direction the industry's going, and I think for good reason.
Awesome. All right, so at this point, unfortunately, Grant told me he was going to come. I don't think he's going to make it. Maybe he's sleeping. But I don't think he's going to come on, so we're going to end this now. JP, thanks for coming on. Jimbo, I think this has been a good show. It's the first episode live. Actually, leave in the comments if you like the idea of having these rundowns live. We can definitely do this more often, or I'm even thinking maybe at some point we just make the rundown show a live show, because it actually makes it a lot easier than having to go through and kind of edit things. When we do it live, it's just like, we screw up, we gotta get it out anyways because it's live.
I think we screwed up less today than we ever have before,
no,
ironically.
Honestly, just yesterday when I was live with Kieran and then live today, it's almost like that pressure of your live that you can't screw up.
Yeah, you
like,
have to be on the whole
time. It's like
time.
you need to just, because there's so many times on our recordings where we're just like, let me think about, like, let's cut that part out. And now it's just like, well, that's not an option anymore, so we're going with it.
Exactly.
But yeah, everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for being in the chat. Again, let us know if you like doing this live. And JP, thanks for coming on. And tomorrow, we're finally, after 3+ years, we got Illuvium, the Overworld coming out. Illuvium 0 has already started. If you haven't started playing yet, I would definitely get in on that. Yeah, these next few months, few years, it's gonna be incredible. I can't wait.
It is.
Oh.
All right.
Love it.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
I will teach you not only how to sell fuel, but when you should start doing it in Illuvium 0. Illuvium has come a long way in the past 3 years, and we now officially have a way to earn Ethereum from playing a video game in a way that benefits the Illuvium game economy. Obviously, this is gated to only land holders. Unfortunately, you cannot sell fuel from directly within the game, but I will show you how to do it easily. And you also might think that waiting until later to sell fuel is smart.
but I will show you how that is not necessarily the case. But first, let me know down in the comments down below what tiers of land you currently own so I have a good understanding of content you might need in the future. Help me to help you. Now, the Nexus 5 is when...
All right.
Not much in the last 24 hours, so let's go a week out. Alright, here we go.
Are you ready to play Illuvium Stage 1? That's what I'm gonna tell you on this video. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about Illuvium, a new free-to-play, play-to-earn game on the Immutable X. Now, if you like me and you wanna be sure that you're ready to go to Stage 1, this video is for you. I'm gonna let you know everything you need to be profitable when you're going to play on Stage 1. I'm gonna tell you how you can get there completely free, and if you are in a hurry and I want to get there, I'm gonna tell you how much you need to invest in and what you need to invest in to play on the Stage 1. So let's go and jump into the game. Okay, so when you start the game, you're gonna be here in Santa Mesa, and here is where you have your crafting, your fusion, and where you do everything you need to do when you're not actually playing the game. So here I'm gonna show you what we actually need before we jump into the game. So if I press I, it's gonna show my inventory, and I think my inventory at the moment is all that you needed to play the game on Stage 1. And everything I'm gonna show here is from Stage 0. You can get all this on Stage 0 completely free, and the best part is that as you building this equipment from Stage 0, you're gonna get acquainted to the game, you're gonna understand the mechanics, you're gonna understand the place, you're gonna get a layout of the map, so that it will be very good for you as well, because it's gonna help you when you get to Stage 1. So let's see what I have here, and I think this is the minimum you should do before you go to Stage 1. So you should have your helmet, your jetpack, and your boots all upgraded to the Supreme tier. So you're gonna upgrade all three to the Supreme, and that should help you to see more of the deposits, also to fly farther and to jump higher. So there is no reason for you to jump to Stage 1 before you craft this. Now you can get all the materials you need on the Stage 0, or you can buy on the market very cheaply. You can buy for a few cents each of the ingot you need to build, and then you can go ahead and build it. Now I'm gonna show you how many you needed, and we're gonna see how you can do it. Now you also should equip your character with a weapon. I'm seeing here the character, not actually the team, because you can have weapons on the team, but you need this weapon here on your character. You can see here there on the bottle, it says Overworld ability. This will increase in 100 your instability damage, and it's gonna last for 5 seconds. So this will help you to capture your Illuvium a lot easier. Now you also need to select a drone. I try out the different drones. I really like the one. It's very helpful. As you press F, it goes and do some damage on the Illuvium. Sometimes they are running away. You just press F and they end up killing them. For this weapon you need to press G, and when you press G it activated for 5 seconds. Now you also should have a lot of these consumables. Now there is no reason for you on stage 0 to collect all the plants. On stage 1 maybe you want to be more selective about the plants you want to harvest, but on stage 0 go ahead and harvest everything that you see because it's free to play. So I jump, I harvest as fast as I can, I jump again, I harvest as fast as I can. So there is no reason for you to be selecting what to harvest and what not to harvest on stage 1. Go ahead and grab everything, and you should have a few of those when you start your stage 1 runs. What I would recommend you to have is enough of this gumbo drop here. This will increase the attack damage by 15 and attack speed by 10, so that's very important for you to have. And also the fin cap here, this will gain 25% extra XP, so when you're battling other Illuvials you can get more XP. Now it's very important for you to make battles on stage 1 because that will give you all the experience that you needed. What I would do is when I go to stage 1, this is the Illuvials I would take. So you can see here I took a Doko and a Joko for each of the different affinities. So I have a pair of air, one of earth, one here of water, and one here of nature. So the reason for that is we don't know what Illuvials we're gonna find there, and you don't want to miss any good Illuvials. So by having a pair here, I can have 2 Illuvials to fight, and I also have the weapons here. So you can see I have this sword here for earth, I have one for air, and I have one for water. So for example, if I get a Illuvial that is from fire, I can go ahead and use my earth Illuvials here. They have again against the fire, and then I can use my sword. Now because I have 2 Illuvials and 1 sword all from earth, I'm gonna add affinity bonus as well. So this is the idea, to be able to get 3 Illuvials of the same element to get the bonus. Now if I need more Illuvials here, I could use the water ones that has also extra points against fire. So the earth has 2 points and the water has 1 extra point, and then by having 3 of the same I would actually get some extra bonuses as well. Now that's my other recommendation. If you want to increase the experience of your Illuvial on level 1, that's what I would have. I would have all the weapons that you can have of the different elements. I would have 2 Illuvials, 1 Doka and 1 Groko for the different elements. That will be enough for you to go ahead and start looking into stage 1. Now how you gonna get to stage 1? So one thing you can do is, like I said, jump to stage 0, harvest everything you can, put aside the amount you needed to do your stage 1 run, and then sell all the rest on the market. You're gonna need fuel to play on stage 1. So you're gonna need 150 kryptons. So you can see here I have 150 exactly, and you're gonna need this to run on stage 1. So that's gonna cost you about $1.20 at the moment. So what you need to do is to harvest and sell everything you can until you get that amount. Now if you prefer, you can go ahead and just invest a little bit of money into the game, and then you're gonna be able to buy the fuel and do the run. Now I would be doing this equipment enhancement and capture these Illuvials by yourself, because you're gonna get the experience you need to go ahead and play in the game. Now other thing we need to do is to get the resource to go and run in level 1, and the reason for that is if we look here on my resources, this cured shard fragment is the only one you're gonna be finding on stage 0. So you can only get this on stage 0. However, they don't work any Illuviums on stage 1. You cannot capture any Illuvium using this. So before you go into a run, you need to buy cured shard, or you need to buy the common shard and cure it to be able to use it. Now I would recommend you to have 2 rarities here, because you don't know what you're gonna find there. So if you have a common, an uncommon, and a rare, at least if you find a very good Illuvium, you can be sure it's not gonna escape. Now if you should buy a cured or a common shard will depend on the value of the market. And let me go ahead and jump into the crafting table so I can show you how you can decide which one it works best for you. So if you come here to the teleport, we're gonna go to our crafting table there, and here we can see actually what we needed. So if we go to shards, the shard fragment, you can craft with the fragment to find a stage 0. That's not gonna cost you anything. You can capture as many Illuviums as you want on stage 0, and then the cured shard is the one that you're gonna need it. So you can see here you're gonna need the common shard, and you're also gonna need here Hyperion. So you're gonna need to buy some Hyperion on the market as well if you want to go ahead and craft it. So by the time you buy, look at the market if it's cheaper to buy the shard plus the Hyperion, or if it's cheaper to buy the current shard. Now like I said, you probably should have at least 1 common, 1 uncommon, and 1 rare, just in case you find that very rare Illuvium and want to capture. Now be very careful here with the shard dust here. As soon as you have the shards, you can destruct into dust to create a different shard. Be careful, because that's not something you probably want to do at this stage. Now other equipment I would recommend you to have is a suit. So you can set one of the suits here. Stage 1 is fine. You don't need one in your character. That's not going to help too much with the game, but you want to have one on your team that you can use on the fight. So have a look on the 3 different types, see which one fits your style better, and then just craft it here. I think just the tier 0 stage 1 is enough for tier 1. Now the ingots is the one that you're gonna be able to get from the market to create your equipment. So you can see here you need osmium, you can get on level 0, and you can craft on this neodar ingot here, and you're gonna need to craft your equipment. Now you cannot buy this osmium direct from the market, but you can buy this ingot, and it costs only a few cents. I bought a few for 2 cents, I believe. I don't know, I think it was the rhodium one, just to upgrade my equipment faster. I think it was missing 2 for my supreme, and I couldn't be bothered playing anymore. I just want to go fast, so I went there and bought 2 because it was just 2 cents each, I believe. Now when you start with your basic jetpack and magboot and visor, then you have to advance to the advanced jetpack, and this will take a basic one, and then we'll take some essence, some rhodium, and some neodar ingots. And then once you do the advanced, you can go ahead and go to the supreme. We'll consume your advanced one, and we'll take that as well. So there is no much secret in the way to harvest here. Now I believe that's all that you need to do to get ready to stage 1. Now on my next video, I'm gonna show you how to be sure you're gonna be profitable running on stage 1. I'm gonna show you what you're looking for, how you get it, and how you sell it later. But that's for another video. I'll see you there.
I will show you everything you need to know to earn in the Illuvium Overworld. I see the question all the time about people who...
Are you ready to play Illuvium Stage 1? That's what I'm gonna tell you on this video. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about... If you already watched my first video and is ready to jump to stage 1 with me, let's do it now. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm gonna be showing you how I'm go about running on stage 1 of Illuvium. Now, if you want to know everything I did on stage 0 to get prepared to stage 1, watch my video that I create prior, and that will give you all the information you needed. Now, if you are going to play Illuvium, please, if you can use my referral code, I will really appreciate it. All you have to do is when you log into your account and go to profile, you're gonna be seeing a place here where you can put your referral code, and our referral code is P2EW. So play to earn words. So you come to your account, go to referral code, and just enter P2EW. I have another referral code here from a resource that I found that helped me a lot. So I'm using his referral, but if you can use mine, I'll really appreciate it. Now, once you did that, let's go ahead and get started on preparations to run on stage 1. Now, as you know, stage 1 is gonna cost you some food. So if we go to Fuel Exchange here, we see that we're gonna need to invest a little bit to be able to do the run. Now, you can do it completely free by doing stage 0 and selling the resource you get for stage 0. It may take you a little while because stage 0 because the resources from on stage 0 are not as popular as the other stages, because everyone is farming stage 0 and trying to sell. So it's important that you are able to go to other stages as soon as you can. So you can see here you're gonna need 150 krypton. So if we calculate that, that's $1.27. So we need to make sure that we get enough resources there to pay for this $1.27. Now, in preparation for that, what we need to do is check the market, because my plan is to go make the run and sell everything that I'm gonna use just after I finish the run. So the market conditions at the moment is what's important for me. So I don't want to grab things to sell it in a month's time. I want to get the things that I needed first, and then I want to sell all the rest. So I'm gonna go into the marketplace, and then we can start by check the Illuviums. Now, I would like to check which Illuviums would be worth to get it. So you can click here on the filter, and we're gonna be looking for Illuviums here, tier 1. So we can go ahead and put tier 1. So those are the Illuviums you're gonna find on stage 0. You're gonna find some other tiers as well, but the majority is gonna be tier 1. You can see here those are going for about 17 to 20 cents, so not worth it much of our time to do it. And also, to capture this, we're gonna need to use shards. So you can look here on the shards and see how much the shards are going for to see if it's worth it. So we need to get at least a tier 1 shard, and here we see that uncurrent is going very cheap. However, let's go and look for current. That's the ones we're gonna be using on the game, otherwise we have to cure ourselves, and they're going for about 10 cents. Now you see this very cheap one here. If you try to buy this one, probably not gonna work. What has been happening is that a lot of very cheap ones, they are staying here, and you can see EMX passport connection closed. That means was already sold, somebody already got it. So if you've seen that error, jump to the old ones. What I have been doing is actually see a price that I want to pay, and I jump here and I order for newest listed. So those are the ones I can be sure I can be getting. So this is 14 cents. So I would imagine all the ones on 10 cents are already gone, to be honest. So if I come back here, lowest price, and let's try to buy one of those for 10 cents, I believe they are all gone, to be honest. So let's see, you can see the error here. So instead of trying to find one that was not sale, I prefer to come here and look for newest listed, and that will make sure that you can find the one you wanted. So we're gonna need 14 cents. That would left us with 14 cents profit for Illuvium. That means we would have to capture at least 10 Illuviums to get some profit. So Illuviums are not a good thing to do at the moment unless you're getting for your own collection. However, even though we're not gonna capture the Illuvium, we're gonna fight with them for sure, because we want to get that experience. So let's go back here and let's see what can we get it on this run. So we need to look into ingots, gems, and essences to see what would be worth it to get it. Now the way I would go about is very similar to what we did it. So we can look, for example, shards. We can see what are the price at the moment. So we can look the different ones. So tier 2, and let's actually use here nearly listed, because this will give us a better price. So those are going for 4 cents. If we look at tier 3, it's going for 13 cents, and if we look for tier 4, 63 cents. So that would be amazing if we could find some. So this is what we wanted to do. You wanted to check here the different tiers. Now it's going to be more likely you're going to get tier 1 and 2 on that stage, so let's focus on that. So you can see here we're going to get about 13 cents for this tier. Then we can also look here for the gems. Gems is another thing we could go and look for. Now again, I'm gonna order for the listing. Let's look for tier 1, and we can look through the different affinities. So 9 cents for the water, 57 cents for fire, about 19 cents here for air. So it will depending on our lucky and get the correct affinity. Now I already went through all of this, and I decided for this run I'm gonna go and focus first on the shards, because everyone's gonna need shards to get the illuviums. Second, I'm focusing on the gems, because you're gonna need gems. Everybody wants to upgrade the illuviums, so they're gonna need that gems as well. And then I'm also going to focus on some plants. Plants will give essences to us, and also will give some consumables that we can use in the game. Now let's go ahead and jump back into the game. So here we are at the game. So remember, our plan is to get first the shards that are the green stones that we find it. The second one is to get the yellow stones, and then we can get some of the plants. I'm going to show the plants that I prefer, and then we're going to find some illuvials to get experience to the illuvials we have, because we also want to go ahead and level up the illuvials we have it. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go to the Brightland steps. I'm already more used to this, so I'm gonna do the run here. I'm gonna go stage 1. Now you can pay to scan the region, and that will show where everything is. Now I don't think that's really necessary. You have enough time to go and find everything you needed. So let's go ahead and give it a go. Okay, now we travel to that, and I'm gonna try to explain as we play what I try to do. So the first thing I want to do is to actually find a vantage point where I can see everything around, and I can decide where I should go. So let's get started here, where I'm gonna press M, and that will bring me the map. I'm gonna press 8 for the heat map. I'm gonna zoom out, and you can see we wanted to look on this area. Now if we take the heat map off, we can see some of the high points we can go, and I'm gonna go over here to get started with. So I'm gonna put a point there, and let's go ahead and do this. This is actually one of the best places, I think, to look on the top. Now you can see I'm not really bothering to get any of the resources around the teleport, and that's because we don't really need to bother there. We can get that resource when we come back. So I was talking to you and I got a little bit lost here, but let's get back on track. Alright, so I want to go to the top of this here so we can see the land below us and decide where to go from there. So you can see there is these bubbles here on the bottom. We can get one of the bubbles to go up there. You can also see there is yellow gem here, so I'm gonna go and capture that because we want the yellow ones. And like I said, that's what I was looking for. Now I see also this, let's see the name here on the map. So this is the Ergon Reef. We wanted to mark these Ergon Reefs because they're gonna give us extra energy. So I'm gonna press T, and I'm gonna right click here just to be sure that I know where this is so I can come back later. So now let's go up here on this bubble. Okay, all right, I see few yellow ones and few green ones when we were coming up. We're gonna go back and grab them. I want to look for the big deposit first, So from here I can see a lot of the map and I can decide where to go after. Okay, another thing I want to do is probably put a point here so we can come back to here.
I don't know how much time I have left, so I feel compelled to set the record straight. For you, for me, for the truth we both deserve. I've been thinking about our past, about the journey that brought us here. You deserve to know it all, Arlen. Before you, I was someone else. Olmetrius Operon. That name feels foreign now, as if it belonged to another life. I was a scripture analyst aboard the Black Key, respected in certain circles. My duty was to analyze, decipher, unravel meanings, to guide our people to Illuvium. But I never truly believed Arlen. I doubt many did, deep down. We all played our parts, clinging to hope. But my arrogance, my disregard for the faith others held dear, it cost lives. Good people lost because I couldn't see past my own cynicism. They stripped me of everything for that. Rank, privilege, purpose. All gone. I became a shadow, scraping by in the bowels of the great ships. For years, I lived in that darkness, believing I deserved nothing more. And then, you found me, Arlen. In that moment, I felt chosen. Not by any grand design, but by something more real. So when Cole threatened to take you from me, no, I'm not your biological father. I know that might be hard to hear, but you are my daughter, Arlen. My light in the darkness that surrounded me. I raised you, taught you, and learned from you in equal measure. You gave me purpose again, a reason to believe in something beyond myself. You've been Aetherborn your entire life. I was only adopted into it. That's why the strength of your faith will always surpass my own. I made mistakes, Arlen. Keeping secrets, shaping your life around my beliefs and ambitions. But never doubt this. You are my daughter. In every way that matters. I've killed to protect you. And of that, I have no regrets.
Wow. That's intense.
here as well if we need it. So let's go ahead and do that. Like I said, I see few rocks below me, and we can also press M and we'll show here what we have seen when we pass them. Now I think I passed too far, so it's not really showing on my map. I want to check the other side of the map as well. I can see another reef here that I would be interested in looking later. I always shoot the illuvials so we can see what they are and decided if you wanted to grab them or not. You can see on the top it's showing the illuvium there, and it shows its level and it shows if it's a hollow or not. So I can decide if I want to capture that illuvium or not. So this is one of the plants I want to grab. So let's go ahead and grab this one. So you can see it got that gumbo drop. This will help me in battle, will give you battle power for my illuvium. So I think it's very important that you collected that as well. There is another one on the bottle that I just grabbed it, and that's also very important, is the flint cap, and this will give us extra experience in battles. I'm gonna grab that yellow one as well. That's too far. So we need to be very selective here on what we are grabbing, because we need to make our run worth it. Not only our time, but our investment as well to get here. Now we find the big stone here, so that is really cool. That will give us a lot of shards, so we can go ahead and extract it. Then let's see what we can get here. Just some common shards so far. So a lot of tier 1, some tier 2 shards. Unfortunately no tier 3. Let's go ahead and get some more gems here. For some reason it's not grabbing it. Now we find another reef here that we can come and recharge it later when we need it. I'm gonna add it. However, I already used all my transports here. As you can see, this transport is very on the edge, so probably the best thing for me is to remove this and come back here later before I use all my energy. So let's do that. I'm gonna go and walk back here so I can see what's on the way as well. Now I need to be careful to not use all my energy, otherwise the dome will start to close. Okay, I'm trying to find some hollow illusion to capture. So far I didn't have any luck. I can again see another reef down there that we could grab it. Okay, so this is not one of the illuviums that I really were looking for, but I want to do some battles here as well. So if I decided in game that I don't want to grab this illuvium, that's fine, because I want to get the experience to my illuviums to level them up. So I have 2 airs and 1 fire here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna combat the air ones with my nature. So let's go ahead and put this 2 here. I also want to use, not that, but I want to use my suit. Now I don't have a nature weapon, so I will use the earth here, and I will see if I can put 2 of those. And I also will put the weapon. Now this will not allow me to try to capture this illuvium twice, because you can see here I have 16, and let's see, this illuvium is 30, so I need to leave at least 30 if I wanted a second try. However, that's fine for me. I'm gonna go ahead and add some consumables here. So you can see I have this different flint caps. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this smaller one and all of them to give them some extra experience from this fight. Real some boom drop here. I'm gonna drop on this level here that has more energy, and let's go ahead and start the fight. Okay, so as you can see, we were fine fighting with all the illuviums from level 0. I didn't have to invest any money getting new illuviums. We leveled them up quite well here on level 1, so that is really cool as well. Look at this guy. So that's very exciting. Now I'm gonna get this Tiro here. I'm gonna give this a try. I'm gonna try use a common shard. Let's see what's the percentage. It's gonna give me 61% chance of getting it. So let's go ahead and confirm. Okay, so well, next time we're not gonna have the second chance because I put too much power. I was focusing on getting my illuvials more experience, so I didn't let much space. I put everything that I could there, and I should have let some space for a second try. Okay, so we find a level 3 illuvium. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to win, but let's give it a go. So this will give me 2 chances of capture it. Let's go ahead and see how my team will do. Very good, and we probably got a lot of experience from this fight as well, so that is really cool. Now you can see that's the one I'm interested in, level 3. Let's see what are the chances with the common shard. So only 15%. Let's see the uncommon shard. That's gonna give us 30% chance. I'm gonna cancel that. And let's finally see the rare shard. It's gonna give us 61% chance. Now before I throw this, I want to go to the market and see how much this Illuvium actually worth. Okay, so this Illuvium at the market is going for 70 cents. This shard is going for 50 cents. So it would be a 20 cents profit. So I will pass on this Illuvium here as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and escape this battle. So let's go ahead and confirm that. As on top of only being 20 cents, I only have 60% chance that will actually capture that Illuvium. So for me, it was worth it. I want to look for better Illuviums to capture. I prefer to use the 650 energy here, looking for other things. Now let's do another battle so we can get more experience. Alright, so something else so you can always do, of course, is check the price of the Illuviums on the market when you do the battle. If you do the battle to get experience, you can maybe also in the end capture the Illuvium because it's worth it. Oops. So I could see that this Illuvium here on the market is going for about 40 cents. So it may be worth for me to go ahead and try capture it. I'm gonna try common shard and that will give me 61% chance. Now you can see here we still fine, so the dome is not gonna start collapsing. You need to be careful as well with your energy. Right, we got this one. We missed the first one, but we got this one. And we got plenty of experience on this run, so that is really cool. I think by the end of this run, I'm gonna be able to actually level up some of my Illuviums. Now I'm not really interested on this too, so I'm just gonna go escape. Now the way I decided if I'm interested or not, I just look on the market. I look the price of the shard, I look the price of the Illuvium, and I decided if it's worth for me or not based on that. I believe I already did a good run here, so I'm gonna start to get the white ores, and then I'm gonna go ahead and try to go for the different.
Alright, so I can't travel because I accidentally had no boots. But I'll have the Supreme boots soon. I had a few technical issues today. And so for tomorrow, what I would like to do is focus on getting towards that first stage 1 run. I'll need a little over $1 of Hyperion to get over there, and maybe some shards too. So if I can get $2 worth of value tomorrow, don't know if I'll be able to do that, but I can certainly try and do that one day, and that'll be the goal. Just trying to log in so we can just yep, good, okay. I'll bring this over and we can take a look. Let's look at, see what ingots are going for. Probably just a few cents. Yeah, not even. Just like a fraction of a penny. Let's see if there's any alluvials. No, fractions as well. Let's go see what the hollows. There we go. Also water a tipo. So these are pennies as well for hollows. If we switch to now greater, we're just trying to formulate a plan. Let's go to graders. Okay. So we would need a few of these, 3 or 4 of these, and they would have to sell too, which I don't know if this stuff is selling. This is probably going to take a few days to get to stage 1. Anyway, off stream I will try to formulate a plan, come up with what's working right now, and tomorrow we will head back to stage 0 runs and start collecting enough Ethereum to get to a stage 1 run. That'll be the goal. Thank you for tuning in today. If you have any questions,